Well, good morning, good morning, good morning, humanity. It is January 11th, 2021, and it's that time of the week because it's Mondays with Bev and Paul. And hi, everybody, my name's Paul.
Oh, good morning. This is Bev.
Hello, Bev. Did you know today's
I,
111?
I did. I was going to mention that. Of course, I did.
111 2021, 5 6 7 8, so it's an 8 if you're into those kinds of things. So it was an interesting day.
Yep.
All right, folks, here we are during these very conflicting times for a society. No matter what side of the program you're on, we always have biotouch, the neutralizing aspect, and we're going to spend these next 20 minutes sharing with you about biotouch, and we're going to do a little different format, I think. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're going to start with one of the questions somebody gave to us is, can biotouch help with these immunization reactions? And so I made up a little workbook. It's on our website. It's on the very homepage, justtouch.com. And these points that we're going to show you here can help with the reactions as a complement. This is not we're not claiming it's going to get rid of all reactions, but it will certainly help. And then we're going to talk about how that is putting love into action. And
Right.
so we're going to start with the points today, talk a little about that. So here's the points, here's the sets. Besides doing the greeting, we would do the allergy, infection, and poison points because we don't know where the reaction is. And then we'll sort of talk a little bit about how you would locally touch right around the pain. People who are getting that swelling in their arm. Some people are getting heavy duty temperatures.
Yeah.
My step granddaughter got a high temperature for 3 days. So some people,
Wow.
there's lots of different reactions, and let's show you the points, and then we'll talk a little bit about it. These are the sets of points that you would use for reactions to the immunization.
The infection, allergy, and poison sets are three separate sets of points. They all share the same hold point, which is the same as greeting point 1, located in the fleshy area just below the base of the breastbone. As with all sets of points, these may be touched repeatedly. Infections of any kind anywhere in the body may be addressed by holding X and with the other hand touching point 1, which is at the base of the large muscle on the right side of the neck and slightly above and behind metabolism point 1. Allergies or allergic reactions may be addressed by holding X and with the other hand touching point 2, which is on the right side of the neck directly behind metabolism point 3 on the top of the large muscle. To address poisoning within the body, hold X and with the other hand alternately touch point 1 and point 2.
So that's how simple those are. We have a little situation. If you can hear us, let us know. Somebody said they can't hear us. Don't know if that's their sound or our sound, but we're going to just keep going. So, allergy, infection, and poison. Very simple, yeah.
Yes.
And then
Very.
and then locally. So again, you've always done the greeting, and then locally, just take your two fingers and touch around where you got the shot. And if the more arm, just sweep down the arm. Just take both hands, sweep around it, and just touch points around that local area,
Yeah.
and see if there's some relief.
Right.
It can't hurt.
No. Never.
So let's talk about how BioTouch is about putting love into action. And we talked a lot about that this morning before we came on the show. That this isn't necessarily about practicing, it's about letting this love come out that's already there. You don't have to go get it.
Yeah. It's
You know,
not new, is it?
no.
It's really not new. It's just as you say, it's I love that word innate is part of our nature. That we are love. And, there's just a lot of people all over humanity itself is beginning to speak more and more about this concept, I'll say it that way, called love, because I think we're awakening. These times are really potent for us to awaken into a new paradigm of, or a remembered paradigm of who we are and what we're here to. It's just not, you come here, you live a crappy life, and then you go. That's not the intention. It's we're here to do great work and to serve and to love
Well,
and to really hold all of that.
that's interesting. I was just reading this thing this morning about if you had a choice between uh, joy and misery, what would you want to choose? If you had a
I
choice
know.
between health and sickness, what would you choose? So it's innate in us, that
Yeah.
we've come here to live in joy and health, but we get sort of whacked off trail thinking that there's this.
Well, that's called the path of least resistance because you and I talked about that's why biotouch is so important right now. Humanity has been on this path of misery and suffering for so long. It is it is what we expect. It's what we do. It's called the path of least resistance. But that's old business. That's why all of this is happening and all of this is coming out because it's not who we are. And all of these amazing things that are happening, BioTouch being one of them, is here to ignite us, stimulate us into remembering and the revelation of our true innate nature. It is love, it is wholeness, not. And so what happens when you give somebody a choice? I have said those exact same things. If you had a choice between misery and love, health and being sick, what would you choose? Well, duh. But here's the rub. Oh my gosh, the work it takes to change those ancient patterns is the rub. That's really what it's all about. This is why BioTouch is so, it's so non-invasive. It is so subtle, and it's so in everybody's own time. It opens us up to who we are. It's not this jerking around and you have to go and do this and you have to go and do that. It's
Yeah.
a natural essence
and
that speaks to us.
and it's very timely right now. It's
Yes.
it's so. I was just thinking, I have this thing on my elbow, like a little cyst or something, and I've been picking at it. And then all this gunk comes out of it, and then I put heat on it, and the heat lets more gunk come out. So when you were talking about all this gunk is coming out in our society, in our world, it's like, yeah, and the heat's on, folks. And something like BioTouch, that gentle expression, it's like you had said before when we were talking, BioTouch, opens the door to this revelation that we are this love, that we are caring for one another, regardless of the things we think we believe. When you take those two fingers and you touch another human being just at the end of that breastbone, you have opened up a communication in relationship of love. And you don't have to do anything about it. This is not, and you don't have to
No.
conceive of it. You don't have to put white light around it and
Right.
bring down the hierarchies and wave all over your body and now feel it in your toes and bring it back up. Those are nice gyrations. I mean, I spent decades doing that. But, we need something immediate. We need
It-
something now that I can do immediately and I don't have to think about it, that shows that I really care about you as my fellow human being.
yeah. Yeah, I think that's the thing. In all of the spiritual masters that have ever been here have always said to us, just be, just be.
Right?
Don't run around like a bunch of little idiots and just try to be. And that's what BioTouch is so powerful in. It lets us be there's a fire of transformation happening. That's always about consciousness, or what we call self-awareness. That is what this whole movement, revolution of BioTouch is here to bring us into, a journey into self-awareness. And it is time. That's why it's so important. That's why, and you and I were talking before the show, people go, how can I relate that to taking those two fingers and touching on the body? Well, as we've said many times, the body is the vehicle, the repository of all that gunk, the angelic and the animal part of ourselves. We're striving
Right.
to become human beings, the bridging between the two of being angels and being animals. And that's what BioTouch is here to hold for us,
It
that
always,
we are loving human beings.
it always reminds me when I'm teaching how I always say, anybody, even jerks can do this technique. And I've proven it because I'm one of the bigger jerks on the planet. And the
Yeah.
only ones that seem to get that are teenagers, you know what I'm saying? Because people are telling
Yeah.
them they're jerks all the time. But and people say to me, "Oh no, you're such a kind, caring. Look at the work you do." And I'm like, "Well, you don't know me very well, but yes, I am that too, And by
Right.
saying I'm a jerk is not denying that I'm also an angel.
Right.
It's in order to be an angel, I have to accept that I'm a jerk. That I
That's right.
have this whole thing, so that when I'm looking out at the world outside of me, I'm not just judging it as out there. That it's reflecting all those pieces of me. Otherwise, I couldn't see it. If I didn't know it, if I didn't know anger, if I didn't know sadness, then when I went to a movie theater, I'd have no reaction. Because the movie's not
Yeah.
making me angry. It's not creating anger in me. It's triggering my own anger. And
Mm-hmm.
so all these opportunities now in the world, and BioTouch, again, I'll never forget that CIA agent. So if you think of conspiracy theories and all of that, I hung out with CIA agents back when BioTouch was being started. And his statement was, there's not a more powerful revolution than what's happening here in this little town of Mancos, Colorado, called BioTouch, because this is a revolution of love.
Yeah.
And it's time. It's time now
It's
to
so
bring these
time.
two fingers, and instead of pulling the trigger, doing a greeting, with one another.
Well, on the other hand, we talk about, holding this concept of love. And when we say that BioTouch lets us put that love into action, I guess in a way you might say we're doing something, and yet it's a whole different aspect of doing, because BioTouch lets us reach out and touch another human being. We all hold the same vehicle. That in that moment of touch, we are saying to each other, one body to another, one mind to another, I care about you. We share love. We are love together. And that's the incredible potency of when you learn this technique. You have the it's not that you have the ability, you have the remembering of, oh yeah, I get to bring myself and another back into our natural state of being, a relationship of love. That's that's the glory of what
It is.
BioTouch is here to bring to us.
And it's the reason that we've dedicated our life to doing this.
Yeah.
It's just year after year, day after day. It's not about trying to reach somewhere. That's our goal. Is we wish every hut on the planet would have this, but because it's our commitment, we want to share that with you. This is our love and our passion. And for me personally, it brings all the teachings I've ever done over all the decades. I'm moving into my 70th decade here, and this technique was that perfect thing for me to take it all and combine it into just those two fingers reaching out and touching another. I don't have to teach you anything. You already know it all.
Right.
And so it's time for us to come to our own self-awareness and then to pass that on. And that's our mission, to create a chain that which shall go on indefinitely. And so we hope that you want to learn this technique.
Please.
Please.
Change your life. Change your life.
And so take a problem you have. If you're part of the immunization process right now and you're getting a little reaction or you're worried about it, teach someone those points that we taught at the beginning of the show. Go to our website, justtouch.com, and on that very first page, the home page, right on top, there's a link will take you to the ebook version of the manual of the pieces just on the allergy, infection, and poison and the greeting. And there's links to that video that we showed here on the show. And so if you have any other questions, contact us. We have websites here, email office@justtouch.com, call us, make comments on the Facebook page here, whatever. We'll answer you. You'll get a personal answer. It's not like you have to press 2 to get the. Now press 6. Now breathe 3 times and press 7. Talk about
Hey, the breath is not a bad idea, but
talk about a conspiracy. So anyhow, we have other ways to learn BioTouch. We won't go into it, but we have a class tomorrow. Whoops, that's not it. We have a class tomorrow, January 12th. We've got quite a few people signed up. We still have room for a few more without making it outrageously too crowded. It's tomorrow at 9 a.m. If you're interested, go to our website, justtouch.com. And again, if you know massage therapists or a doula or a nurse, and actually I think we've got everybody signed up is either a massage therapist or a doula. So,
that is awesome.
Yeah. So
I'm excited.
You don't have to be. Anybody can take it, but we can give continuing ed credits to all of those professions.
Right.
So show up for that one. And then in a couple of weeks, we have Karen Arnold, who is going to talk to us. She's going to present on the crisis of grief and loss, and then we're going to show you just a few basic set of points to do to address that. And there's a lot of that happening in humanity right now, around the world. This is a global situation we're at. We are not alone here in this country.
We're a humanity.
Yes. Who are all dealing with this problem. And the beauty about BioTouch is, you know something? Those 2 fingers, it's part of humanity. That greeting point 1, it's part of humanity.
Yeah.
We are teaching something that everyone can do, no matter where you live on the planet, no matter what your social, economic, religious, philosophical background is.
It breaks down all of those barriers for us, doesn't it?
Knocks them all down, wipes them out.
Yeah,
Boom.
Take down that wall.
Boom. All right. So we hope we're giving you a little help today. We do this every Monday at 10 a.m. Arizona time. But we'd also be happy to come to any group that you have. Bev, myself, both of us, we can Zoom with you. We can Zoom with your group. We can set up the program to meet your particular group. It doesn't matter if it's a Tupperware party or a health condition that you're part of a support group. We'd love to come talk to you and share BioTouch.
Yep.
Thank you, Bev. That was another joyous time.
Yes.
And thank you all for letting us into your home. And I guess we'll see you all next week, yeah?
Oh, yes. Have a wonderful week.
I can feel the pain in sunshine or rain, so it's not caused by the weather, but it doesn't hurt that much after I feel your loving touch and we spend some time together. Take my pain away each and every day. You're an angel from heaven on high. Your butterfly touch helps me heal so much, and I get better as time goes by. You take my pain